we know that by the law. I have to tell you about that. You need to be prepared for that. Yes, yeah. So the next, our speaker will be Anastasiia. She's the head of marketing at Raya Robots Artificial Intelligence. So Anastasiia, hi and welcome. Can you tell us more about what your company does and what is your role there?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. So I'm Anastasiia, and I'm head of marketing at Raya. Happy to be here. Actually, we create customized AI solutions for different type of businesses, and it could be like personal assistants with additional integrations, some voice bots, and even AI avatars for your content, for example. And I want to draw your attention that I'm not actually an expert in legal field. My passion is advertising, because like I'm a marketer. But what I like the most about us in our team, that we are approached by different clients, different businesses, and legal field representatives too. And I think AI is like very popular now, which means like there is a demand. So I had a possibility to talk to different business owners, and I hope that information about AI and like conclusions that I made after talking to the lawyers who contacted us, I hope just it would be useful for you today, and I will try to base my answers on our experience on our clients.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks, really appreciate it and happy to have you here. And as well, the third speaker is Anatoly. Anatoly is the CEO and founder at CaseResearch.AI, the company which is pretty connected to law, by the way. So I guess Anatoly will tell more about that.
Yeah, hi. Thank you. So, yeah, right. We at CaseResearch.AI, we use AI to help our clients, lawyers, to process like dozens of documents in order to get chronologies, and with focus on precision and security. So I know a lot of things about how difficult it is to integrate AI solution into legal practice from the security standpoint, and all the technical aspects of that. I'm also a technical person with like over 20 years of experience. So I hope I will be able to answer all the technical questions you may have. Otherwise, we'll get it off the webinar to some other channel.
Yeah, great. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So, all right, then I suggest us to start with exactly our part. So I suggest us to have the overview of why we are exactly here from the person who really represents here the law side, and from Tomasz, who will tell us about the cases which are happening, why do we need AI, what's going on with the AI in law now, and what challenges do you have, and more information. So Tomasz, I fully give the audience to you, and yep, hope you can share the screen as well, because I know you have
just
something to show.
Now I on my microphone, and I will try now to share the screen.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. I think, yeah. All right. So I prepared for you some my comments about the real use cases of using AI in legal work. Because, well, when we talk about using AI in legal services, we constantly hear very general statement. AI may help you, and AI might be used in something. But the problem is that when lawyers start to really experiment and test, they usually found that the system does not work as it was described, or they are very disappointed very quickly with the generated output. So I think that I will try to share with you some specific use cases and my approach to using general AI tools. I will talk mainly about general or standard AI tools. I'm thinking about generative AI tools that are available. Think about ChatGPT, Claude, and tools like that. Of course, I am aware that there are some specialized tools. Maybe I will show you at the end the tool that we are using in Bird & Bird, which is called Leia, which is a kind of a specialized interface. So this is a generative AI tool, but dedicated for lawyers. But I think majority of lawyers simply use these standard tools. So before we start an experiment, I think we must be aware that there are some basic health and safety rules. First, we should use only these tools that provide adequate protection for confidentiality and personal data. So usually you must pay for such a privilege of having confidentiality and protection of personal data. Of course, it's possible still to use these tools free of charge, but then you must constantly clean the data from all information that might be protected by the confidentiality, or they might be personal data, and so on. So it's very important. And second important thing is that we should always verify the results of what we are doing. There are, in case of legal services, there are very limited cases where you can use these tools without any verification or without major verification. I would like to start with 3 different approaches to give you some thoughts about how to work with AI. I think that most lawyers work with AI in 3 ways. One, the most popular, is simply just make a prompt that is in fact the instruction that you received from a client. So write something instead of me. So do everything. Just create the memo, create the opinion, and then I will review at the end. Second model is that we in fact know what the outcome should include, but we do not want to spend the time on writing it. So we just give the prompt with instruction what should be in the memo, and then we review the outcome. And the third model is that in fact we know what should be inside, we write it, and then we use AI just to review, maybe to supplement the result with something that we missed. And I must say that usually the quality of results is the best in case of approach number 3, is the worst in case of approach number 1. Of course, it's largely depends on the specific situation, specific prompts, specific instructions, and on many situations, on many circumstances. But as a general rule, these tools are the best if we use them rather to have a dialogue with us, and we are not just someone who reviews something prepared by them. So it's like with a legal assistant. Just imagine someone without any legal experience, and we give them a very difficult task of preparing a statement of claim. Usually, the quality of the result would be poor. But if we prepare a statement of claim, or we at least prepare a kind of a list of points that should be in the statement of claim, the quality is much better. All right. So, what are the good practices, or the situation that I found are the best to use the tool? First of all, of course, summarization. That's the most popular use case. So we have a lot of data. We have books, we have articles of, for example, we must prepare an overview of some practices in a specific area, and we have a lot of source materials. We have a lot of sources, and we want to quickly get the summarization. But of course, we should use it only if we really don't care about 100% accuracy, and especially that generative AI systems, the standard, they have various weaknesses, and one of these weaknesses is that they are not very good in processing large pieces of information. So generally speaking, if you use the whole token context window, all tokens in the context window of ChatGPT or Claude, then usually the results are not the best. Sometimes simply they omit parts of the text that you would like to be reviewed. So there are various solutions for that. For example, you can split the text into parts, so-called chunking, but it's time-consuming. And you should be also aware that there are various tests that various models were tested as regards the accuracy of summarization, and they were not really doing good in all aspects of the summarization. So it depends on what you summarize and how you summarize. Another aspect where I think these tools really shine is assistance in tasks where we are experts. Why? Because then we can very quickly assess whether the results that we get is good or bad. This is in opposition to the situation that we are not experts and we get the result and we don't know really whether it's good or bad. It's a situation that we try to cure ourselves, and we ask Google doctor about the symptoms that we feel, and we get something, but we don't know whether the outcome, the result, the answer is applicable to us, to our situation or not. So when we are good at something, then this tool is very, very useful because we can very quickly, first of all, notice if the results are with errors, and also we know how to ask the question, so we know what to expect in result. Sorry. Okay. Then creating of different versions of documents. This is a scenario I use almost on a daily basis. So let's imagine that you created a formal legal opinion, but in fact the management does not want this long document. They need a summary. So just produce plain legal language version. It's really very easy. Or you may reduce the complexity. You can prepare the document that you have in hand, for example, for someone using as a parameter, well, the age or the education. And in this way, you can adapt what you prepared for various audiences. It is especially important when, for example, you must prepare internal working regulations for the organization, and then the summary of these documents, for example, for the workers, for the white collars, and so on. Then AI tools may also help you to find different perspective. Many lawyers have problems with so-called blank page syndrome. So they need to write something, but they have problem how to start. Or they can stuck in the middle. So, for example, they have problems with new arguments, writing statement of claim. So this is a very good tool, AI, to trigger the creativity. So I can ask for various ways to write the next sentence, or I can ask for preparing this specific argument in a few different ways. And usually when we see how it might be formulated, then suddenly we are no longer stuck. We can move further and write it on our own. Then support in the analysis of some business issues. For example, we have a contract related to a niche in the sector that is unknown for us, and we don't know exactly, for example, what risk might be related with the specific niche. So AI is perfect in finding out what's the most important in this niche of business sector, how to understand specific terminology in the contract, how to identify any issues that are really important for a specific situation. So I would say that this is like getting you know-how that normally you must get just in life by working on the various transactions. So with AI, you may pretend that you have experience in a specific area. Then perspective of others. This is, again, something that I use quite a lot. So feedback on the prepared document. So I prepare a brief that we'll submit in the court. How will the litigation opponent receive the letter? What might be his reaction? What the judge will understand after quickly scanning my brief. This is a very good tool that may give you different perspective, and suddenly you can see weaknesses. So you can improve your letter, your document, by seeing potential perspective of the opponent. Then using AI to play different roles. If you prepare to have very important negotiations, you can simply use AI to play the other party in negotiations or discussion. If you prepare a proposal of new clauses in the contract, you can ask what the other party can say about the specific wording of this clause. So AI really might be used in various aspects, especially of business aspects of being a lawyer. Where we sometimes need advice, but very often we cannot get it on a daily basis. And similar thing, second pair of eyes. I use it quite often to verify whether I included all aspects of a specific case, of a specific situation. Not very often I receive any new insights, maybe because I'm asking in some expert areas, but sometimes I have the answer that simply opens my mind. Oh, this is something that I should add to what I prepared for the client. All right, so these are the scenarios, and some scenarios where we should not use AI. So first of all, sometimes there is a temptation just to use the summarization of large court files because we can quickly prepare a brief. The problem is that if we use such tools, we do not learn the case. And then there will be a surprise in the court where we are asked a question about some details, and we don't know. We have not read the case. We have not read all the documents. We do not remember. So if we need to learn something, we should not use AI. But on the other hand, it might be used to verify our knowledge. So just upload the documents that you have, and then ask AI to question you whether you remember very well the facts. Then, if you know that the result must be perfect, then you shouldn't rely on AI, maybe except the situation that you know that you cannot rely, and you are prepared to check every word in a document that was generated by AI. If you are not prepared, I think it's better not to use it at all. I'm not saying that this is an absolute no-go situation, because we know we make mistakes too, but we must be really aware of that. Second, I always discourage people to use AI if they don't know how AI works, because if they don't know what is AI, they are in troubles, because quite often they see that the answer is convincing, And we know all these famous cases of lawyers citing court cases that were generated, that never existed, that were generated by AI. So this is a classical situation that AI tools were used by people simply that know nothing about how it works. But it's easy to get grasp on that skill. Simply, we must use it. The longer we use, the more we use AI, the more we know about how it works. And then we should know that sometimes simply AI is not suitable. And I must say that there are no general rules for that. Everyone must experiment and find these good and bad cases. It's of course important to share the knowledge like we are doing here today, but nothing may replace the personal experience. So the personal testing, personal experimentation, and finding good scenarios. I think good advice is simply try for one day, do everything what you do using only AI. You will find that it's sometimes really tedious and requiring more time and effort than making it manually, but it will learn you how to use AI properly. Okay, and I'm sorry that this is the graphic that I made myself, and I did not find time to translate it. But just to explain, if you see the line, the line shows the level of difficulty for human, and then you can see this red line. It shows the level of difficulty for AI. So you might see that there are tasks that might be very easy for us, but they might be very difficult for AI, and they might be tasks that are very difficult for us, but very easy for AI. So the problem is that we cannot apply our knowledge and our what we know about our capabilities to AI, because then we will be very, very often mistaken. So again, we must train and learn how to do it properly. So this is summarization of, well, good and bad practices. Generally, we should use it, and we should learn how to do it. We should not use it in a way that might simply give not good results. As you know, prompting is very important. I encourage everyone just to Google prompt engineering for lawyers. That was prepared by Microsoft and I think a Singapore Academy of Law. I think this is the shortest and the best instruction for lawyers how to create the prompts. So this is an example of a good prompt that explains very clearly that you should give the goal, so what the AI should do, some context, some source materials, and your expectations about the form, about how it should be generated. And at the end, I would like to show you just the one screen from Leia. So to show you that that in addition to the general standard tools that you might use, like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, and others, there are also some specifically designed for lawyers tools. And this is the example. So this is the tool that allows you to automatically extract information from up to 100 agreements at the same time. So what it does, it creates a prompt for every clause, and then you can decide in these prompts what should be the format of the answer. So for example, in a payment, it should be a number. In case of a termination, it should be number of days. In case of renewal, that should be yes or no, or there should be just an open text. So also this way of working with AI limits the number of errors and so-called hallucinations that may appear. Okay, and that's all what I had prepared. If you have any questions that I can answer either in the chat or probably after the presentations.
We faced already one of the questions is about the presentation. So will you share it with us, the presentation?
Yeah, no problem. I can share.
if something, you can share it with me, and I'll share it to all the attendees. It's not a problem, not an issue. So yeah, all the presentations will be shared with you. So I guess there will be just the main one, and let me show you now the next one, the one we are having now. So like this, and now you're going to have it. So we are facing now some questions. Yep, the main questions which were asked by our registrants, the people who registered to the event. They had the opportunity to ask us the questions, and we decided to take it as a base for our speakers, for our AI specialists, to tell us more about them. So, for example, one of the questions which was pretty heated in the registration form is about AI as a legal problem-solving tool. So, and then we faced two questions here. So, can AI truly replace attorneys in problem-solving situations, or will it always need human oversight? I guess, you know, it's not a secret. Each of us is pretty scared, can be pretty scared that AI will replace us at the end of the whole time. So after it's been fully ready. And what role can AI play in enhancing legal research and decision making for businesses or clients who can't afford a full-time legal counsel? So I would love to ask that. Anastasiia, can you share your opinion on that?
Yeah, sure. That is my favorite question. Can AI replace someone?
Yeah, that's really
yeah. Okay. So when it comes to the first one, in my personal opinion, AI won't fully replace attorneys because legal problems often involve some nuance, ethics, and understanding human emotions. So there are areas where people actually excel. So if we talk about legal decisions, I'm not sure, because even when it comes to people, there are huge liability. But with the point of providing legal advice, only if your team actually provides customers with such a consulting service. I mean, you can teach AI too about different laws and regulations, or make a prompt with the most common questions of your customers. Connect even simple text bot to your page, and in this case, yeah, for sure. But if we consider AI as a strong and reliable legal advisor, I guess there are a lot of limitations. But AI could be a powerful assistant, for example, to the CEO of the legal company. Our AI tools help businesses to automate contract analysis or missing clauses, for example. It saves hours of manual work, but of course, final decisions still need human touch to just ensure the context. So let's remember that AI is a tool, not a replacement. And with the second one, what role can AI play? This question is actually continuation of the previous one for me. As I see from our cases, from our clients, AI makes legal support more accessible by cutting down on research time and costs, of course. Just let's imagine a small startup that can't hire big legal team, right? That's a very common story, actually. And with AI, they can quickly search some precedents, even draft simple contracts for themselves. Why not? And for such teams, I think AI plays a very important role. And for the huge companies for whom it's just cheaper and maybe faster to connect some AI solution, but not to hire one more employee. But like we need to remember that AI tools, whatever one, works only with the information you give it. I mean, with the database. So you need not only to find the best AI tool for you, but also to teach it. Yeah, that is my opinion. I think maybe someone has something to add.
Yeah, if you have any thoughts, you can, put on the mic and share it with us. Or if there are any questions, you can ask them in the chat. So that's not a problem at all. So we will be happy to answer them. But I think while we are waiting for them, and if they appear, we will answer them later on. So I suggest us to continue on our questions which were faced there. And one of also important things was minimizing legal risks where AI produces false or non-existent information. So how can legal firms minimize risks associated with AI generating incorrect or fabricated information, and what safeguards should be in place to prevent the legal consequences of using unreliable AI-generated content? So I guess, Anatoly, I will ask you to share your ideas on that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm so sorry. This is Catherine Kerrigan.
Yeah,
So
sure.
and I appreciate all of this conversation. And I think what's really interesting is looking at it in so many different ways, right? So I own a cybersecurity company. We do a lot in quantum computing. I own 2 other companies, right? So me as a business owner, I actually just used, and I have attorney fees up the wazoo, as you can all imagine. But what I did, I had a client, and I apologize for just kind of diving in, but I had a client that owes me $25,000, right? And so I talked to my attorney, and he said, well, I don't know California law. I know Illinois, Chicago, Florida law. I don't know California law. And I went for fun, and I always explore ChatGPT, Claude for more jovial purposes. But I went in and I said, give me a demand letter. Here's what they owe me. And the demand letter was probably 80% good, right? So I agree with you that it's a tool, right? I don't think this will ever replace anything. It's just like anything in technology, it's a tool. And if you can use it to your benefit, it's like using a library. Go to the library for some educational purposes, find a good book, use it as a tool, but be appropriate with understanding the ramifications, I guess.
May I, add something to the discussion? Well, Katrin, I think a very good point. I agree with you that AI might be treated simply as a new tool in our tool set. Let's say a new book in the library that consists, information from all other books in this library. If we rely on any book on the library, we also can make a mistake, because, for example, the court rulings that were quoted in this book might be outdated, might be overruled by new rulings. So there is always a possibility of making a mistake if we rely on any source of knowledge. With AI, the problem is that we know very well that its feature, its end feature is that it's may produce unreliable or untrue results. I understand that there might be some technical ways to limit the so-called hallucinations, but so far I do not know such techniques that would be 100% sure. So it will give hallucination-free output. So I think that in practice, we should use the following guidance. I think we should look simply at the scale of risks that we face in a specific situation, and based on our evaluation of the scale of the risk, we should decide whether we can rely on the output generated by AI or not. In the situation that you have just described, so there might be, for example, an application for registration in a specific jurisdiction that you don't know, or there might be another situation where I think the risk of failure is not very high, because the risk of failure simply means that your application is rejected, so you can simply do it or submit it once again. So the risk is quite low. So I think using AI is like simply accepting specific level of risks. But there might be situations where I would not definitely rely on AI absolutely. Just imagine that you must submit an appeal from the court ruling. You will not have another chance of submitting the appeal. So if you have errors that will result in rejection of your appeal, then unfortunately it's done. So you failed. I think that we should learn how to differentiate between these two scenarios. So scenarios where risk is enough low that we can, I think, manage it, and we can include it in our risk assessment of what we do, or it is unacceptable. And then if we use AI, then it should be accompanied by, for example, a lawyer that would verify the result, or anybody with simply expert knowledge in the specific area. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks a lot for such a deep answer. Yeah, that's I really appreciate the discussion we've had here, and I'm happy that these questions they really worry the people here. So thanks a lot. I suggest us to move on with the minimizing legal risks. Yep, about the false or non-extinct and existing information, because I think it's one of the things where we still need people for, and the way how can we reduce that and how we can minimize. So, yeah, Anatoly, I will give the.
Thank you guys for the discussion. Actually, I love the key points of Tomasz that he said, like, yeah, it's risk management basically. But the other thing that comes to my mind, like, if lawyers are like hesitant about trusting the AI, why other people should trust it? I mean, because I don't understand a lot about law. Tomasz knows a lot more, and Tomasz and Catherine, they can read legal language. They understand how that mechanic works. I don't. So why would I trust AI, especially in legal questions like that? But anyway, my point of view on this minimizing legal risks, and I strongly suggest, at least right now, because the technology is evolving, and who knows where we're going to be in like 2 years, right? But definitely the first point is like treat and yeah, don't trust AI. This is the phrase we start our sales calls today. But definitely, if we treat AI as a like entry-level junior associate, we won't be assigning to AI tasks that are like high risk. I mean, the results of them are important, right? And we definitely will be verifying that that result. So this is the only way today to work with AI tools, and and my vision is that like in upcoming 2 years, there will be more and more legal tech products that use AI appear. and every law firm will be trying out like new tools and see how the dynamic goes, because at the end of the day, all those tools should make law firm more efficient, right? So if associate would spend like 8 hours doing something, and using new AI tool, he would spend like 5 minutes generating the result, and 8 hours more to verify it. It doesn't make any sense, right? So I get my point is that as you try new tools, figure out the timing, if it really saves your time, because you have to verify its results. Like anyway, you will have to do that. In my opinion, there is no other way. The only thing that we may ask today on like stuff like tools like ChatGPT, they start doing this justification of why they actually generated this result. That may actually bring some light to that content and simplify your process. But yeah, that's basically it. I don't see today how AI can replace human.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing. Happy to know that I'm not gonna be fired soon, and I'm gonna keep the job.
Definitely not because of AI.
Thanks for that. That's really gives me the hope. All right. So and then also we have one more here question, because in our registrations there were pretty much business consultants, legal business consultants, and the impact of AI on legal business consultancy is also crucial. How is it transforming the role of legal business consultants? To what extent can clients perform legal tasks with AI tools, and where do they still need professional legal services? How can legal consultations prioritize their efforts, in an AI-enhanced environment? So I want to give this topic and these questions as well to our speakers to share the ideas you have on that. So feel free here as well. Who wants to share it with me regarding the thoughts?
I can actually start, because you pointed, you already mentioned a couple of areas where AI can help with like legal research, drafting, and multiple other like lower level tasks as of today. And what we actually getting that it is pretty similar to what happened with the ID industry like a couple of decades ago, when the younger specialists started to learn faster. And right now with AI, we see like another wave of that. But we had the situation when we had like a senior specialist with just like 4 years of experience, and it was because information became so structured and so accessible that people didn't spend a lot of time researching the information. They spent a lot more time thinking and building like pictures in their head. So it allowed them to grow faster. And I think this is, if used properly, of course, this is one of the ways how legal associates can grow faster and get more value to their firms, because they can like operate with information more efficiently, and they already learn a lot more than like their peers, but 20 years back would do.
If I can add something to that, I think that we don't know what is the impact of AI. We really don't know. We must remember that I think the revolution, AI revolution, started in fact just 2 years ago. Of course, I know there were many AI-based tools, but they were not based on large language models. I think they simply triggered the revolution. And so at the beginning, many law firms thought that just let's start use these LLMs and we suddenly be better than our competitors. But they found that it's not true. They found that not always these tools are applicable. They found that many lawyers refused to use them because they were disappointed with the first results and they simply do not want to try more. So there are many problems with this transformation. Second, I think after the first successes, many lawyers were disappointed with these general tools. So they started to look for more specific solutions. They were disappointed. Now we see the process that even medium and small law firms, they employ programmers. They employ people who are able to develop, to work on the models. So the lawyers try to develop the tools for themselves. And so we are in the middle of this process. We don't know who will survive. We don't know who will be successful, whether there will be just new providers of these tools. Maybe finally Wolters Kluwer and Thomson Reuters and others will give us, well, perfect tools that will be used by majority of lawyers. We don't know. We still are looking for good use case scenarios. Many lawyers are in the fog as regards how I can use AI in my daily work. So I think that really we should not be too afraid of the future. We should not be too afraid of losing, just being behind the competition. We should generally try to learn the tools. We should learn how to use them. Try to find use scenario that simply fits our needs, and then we can also share work with clients to find what works for the clients too. So personally, I believe that AI allows lawyers to work more efficiently. Due to AI, I am able to much better and more quickly prepare to any meeting, any court hearing, any challenges that I have in my professional life. But this is just one of the aspects. If I was probably not attorney at law in a law firm, but in-house lawyers, I would have different challenges. So just summarizing, I think that we are impacted. We don't know how we are impacted, and we should not be passive, but we should be simply members, or we should be participants of this transformation of professional legal services and the market, just not to be left behind. But I'm quite optimistic that these tools would allow us simply to work better, just to give better legal advice, and maybe have some, well, more free time.
And just may I add something?
Yes, you
Great.
should be asking.
I think actually impact depends on what task you want AI to complete, because like AI is very huge and relevant topic today. A lot of business owners just like come to us and they say, we want AI to be in our business, but they don't really want to check, for example, which tasks can take more time from their team. They don't want to check what is the situation on the market. As Tomasz told, like it's very important to study, to get deep dive into the information, and maybe you don't need a lot of process to be completed by AI, right? Maybe you just come to your team and ask, guys, what is hard for you? What takes a lot of time for you? Let's ask AI to do it for us. So I think impact would be better, and like you will have more results if you will prepare more for the AI integration.
Yeah, I would I would absolutely agree with that. I appreciate what you said. And if you look at, it's how you classify AI, right? So my father ran all the technology at the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago in the United States back in the 30s. So we've had the technology, we've had predictive analytics. Now, now I understand that over the last 2 years, everyone wants to talk about AI, and I appreciate what you said, because as a business owner, a lot of my clients come to me sweating and crying, and they're like, we need AI. And I say, for what? Like, for what? Right? And so looking at things like that, and then if you go back into the tranches of AI, it's really about data and data structure. So what do we want to do with this beautiful data, whether it's legal or anything else? And then how do you make sense of it and make sure that your data is structured in a way? And I think we kind of had this conversation with everyone here, but it's like, okay, can AI be helpful to the legal world, right? Whether you're an attorney or you're a big law firm, yeah, it can be, but it's good data in, good data out, right? So how can you structure that in a smart way that says, okay, 80% of our legal consulting fees have to do with business law. Okay, do we have good data around what that looks like? And then how do you manipulate it from there?
Yep.
But I'm not an attorney, so.
No, you're sharing and talking with us like an attorney, especially considering that you managed to send a demand email by yourself using AI without any lawyers. So,
I mean, I'm not pretending it's good. It could have been. They probably saw it and were like, "Yeah, we're absolutely never paying you." But I tried. I don't know.
I hope they will. All right. Thanks a lot. So I suggest us moving here then further with it. So talking about what about the impact of AI on legal business consultancy? So what extent clients perform and so on. So Anatoly, or I haven't missed anything regarding that.
Yeah, I guess that I in my previous speech covered all of that. So I think we got a pretty good discussion around that. So we can skip.
I just wanted to show that. All right. So and now regarding the next question, so we had a region question, some specific one regarding the AI tools for legal document development in the Baltic countries. So Baltic countries are developing pretty fast, and they face with growing business, and they really often face some legal questions. So Anastasiia, could you share your knowledge regarding this? Because I know you have a big base on that.
Kinda, yeah. Yes, there are AI tools tailored for like legal document creation in the Baltic region. It's actually like this information in my head based on the experience of our clients, and we had a chance to participate in RigaCom conference last autumn, and I had some conversations with people. And I remember that such tools as DocDraft, DocuSign, Paxton AI maybe were mentioned in conversations during the conference a lot of times, but these solutions offer templates actually, and I think region-specific platforms also exist. And maybe we, as a RAI, could be the example, because we worked on integration AI systems that adapt to regional requirements, ensuring some compliance with Baltic-specific legal norms. So these tools, I think, can handle contracts, some NDAs, and even maybe employment agreements for businesses. So yeah, some Contract Express and DocuSigns, if we could talk about these like AI tools, I heard a lot of times from colleague in Baltic region. Maybe someone has more examples. It would be great to share. Let me just type you in the chat, because yeah, Paxton AI, yeah. Yes.
I'm glad that we are having Ravis, who's from the Baltic region, as I understand, and so it will be very useful for him. Contract templates or anything.
Yeah, DocuSign, DocDraft, and Paxton AI, also Contract Express. If you want me to type, just let me know.
Yeah, I think it would be a useful thing. So if Ravis would ask you about that, we'll be happy to do that. All right, so thanks a lot. Regarding that, I think we've also fulfilled the question here about the legal document development. And one more important and crucial things here is regarding the data safety in legal AI applications. So I would be happy if you could share with me your ideas, Anatoly, regarding that, because data safety is, I guess, honestly, I'm not, as a lawyer, was always thinking that AI is going to steal my data. I don't know what they are going to steal if I'm not searching anything confidential, but I did it. So I was very worried. So could you tell me what about the data safety? What's the situation there? What are the main concerns, and how can you ensure compliance with data protection?
Yeah, sure. I guess here we need to go a little bit more technical, and I think since Catherine owns like the security businesses, data security businesses, she may help me as well. But honestly, like data safety in legal AI was always like a big thing, right? And in legal technology, sorry. AI is just a recent addition. So, but what we see with AI right now, that there are 2 times, and can you switch to another slide if you have it? Yeah. So with AI, there are 2 kinds of solutions, I would call, and all of them are. And I wanted to bring this up to this group just because I expect you guys will be, as the lawyers, you will be presented with different AI solutions. So I want you to understand like technical details, and maybe apart from like regular questions, ask slightly more targeted questions. So right now, as far as I see, like there are from the security standpoint, two different kinds of AI solutions, and they all pretend to be AI, but the difference is one is like, as we see here in blue, is like a full cycle AI solution. The other one is AI powered solution, and they the difference is that like the first own the model, they have it in their environment. The other one is using the model developed by someone else. So from the data privacy standpoint, the more, and here I like to be like slightly more paranoid, just because you never know where the bad things may get from. So the more blocks and arrows we see on this diagram, the worse for us, because the more places our like data can be intercepted or compromised. So I would strongly suggest you asking like what kind of AI type of AI solution people are. Do they host their own models, or they just use someone else's services? What is the difference? So let's imagine we have like blue is like hypothetical ChatGPT, and pink one is my fancy legal AI solution. And ChatGPT handles, let's say, scanned documents very poorly, while this pink one handles scanned documents perfectly. It can get like text in handwritten, whatever you wanted, it gets from the picture. So user uploads their data to the pink solution. They do their text recognition magic, and then send that text to the blue box. By the time user will get result, the information from that document he sent will be placed in both blue and pink storages, and it also have traveled back and forth using that pink arrow that goes from pink box to blue box, which if we think of it, increases the potential of leakage of the data. So if you are about to use the pink solution, please consider that maybe sending your like clients or like sensitive information is not the best idea, just because I mean they all like all the kind of like salespeople say it is all safe until it is not, and the more options for us to get to steal the data, the worse for us, right? So we don't want our client sensitive data to get into malicious people's hands.
Yeah, and totally, like I absolutely love everything that you said, because and even in companies that I work with here in America, they think that the information is secure. It gets stolen all the time, and it gets stolen in different ways, right? So yeah, you may have like a third party contractor that should not have access to certain information, right? And they can log into a system, they can log into SAP or their ERP system and get all the information, right? And then and even me as an agent, like I have an agency, we have access to information that we should not have access to, right? So I have customer data and nothing is protected. And so I think to your point, what I get really excited about is the legalities of all of it. And I'll say it in two ways. one, things need to be tighter, right? There has to be protection. There has to be admins, like beyond, like everything has to be more protected, because now, personal data 20 years ago was like, okay, you have my social security number or my home address. You couldn't really do much with that 20 years ago. Now, somebody can create a new avatar of me looking like me and swindle you out of money, right? So there's that. And just understanding, like, protecting data. And I think from a legality perspective, which is where I'm going with it, is there's if someone can create a cool technology legal company that protect, it's almost like the Iron Fortress, like create a cool company that protects people's data from a legality perspective, I think that's where you win.
Yeah, thank you. Right. So that was actually my second point, because even though like you store your data in your box, whether it's like pink
Sure.
or in my monitor it's pink, but maybe it's magentish on yours, or blue. It is so. What we've learned, that some security standards are very like not strict. I mean, if say company is using AWS and they are using encrypted hard drives, so it automatically says that your environment is compliant with the security standard. And if someone steals hard drive from the data center, that person will not be able to get the data out of that hard drive. But have you heard any case when like a bag of hard drives was stolen from a data center in recent 10 years? I haven't, but I constantly hearing like data is being stolen from the software using some security leaks or compromising admin passwords. And
it's actually, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but like I think it's actually much more simple. They don't even have to try that hard to get into systems, right?
Exactly, because data centers are very well protected.
Right. And so we have I'm not pushing an agenda here, but we have a cool cybersecurity company that I'm fully invested in, and we're trying to understand that if you're Anatoly, if you're Tomasz, if you're whomever, Catherine, if you should not be accessing that data, you can see, hey, there's 10 files here, but once you try to touch it, it's like it's Houdini, right? Where you can't access it, right? And so, and if you look back, and I think Anatoly, I think this is where you're going with it. In America, in the Midwest, it's a lot of farms, right? Manufacturing, etc. And so there was a point where bad people got access to, I know it sounds silly, but a dairy farm, right? And it was right before Thanksgiving years ago. And they shut down all the manufacturing for the dairy farm because they were able to access it. And it was like, if you and I tried for 40 minutes, we could do the same thing. Would we do it? No. But it's so like there's so many easy access points. And so you look at it and you say, I look at data in a different way and say, how do you protect the house? Right? Protect the house. I don't know if you need 4 like different bricks of, like, I don't know what it looks like, but protect the house, protect the data. And then with that, what I try to tell a lot of my clients is that their data is gold. right? So if I know that Tomasz or Anatoly or whomever buys this at this day on this day, and they buy this product, or they come and buy a certain product every 2 months, or their car is worth this, like looking at all of those different data points, like that's their gold, right?
Yeah, and actually, it's not only like the data itself is very valuable, but having the situation when some like malicious person can access the data, it can be very like extremely bad. Because like I'm natively Ukrainian, and I know that half of the government institution right now in Ukraine doesn't work because.
Right.
In December, they have like hackers got into their registries, and they shut down everything. So it
Right.
it can cause a lot of problems for the like entire state. Can you imagine? So
If you stop providing dairy, and then you have to pay $8 million to some God knows what, and then it's a PR thing where you don't want to tell people that we got hacked, but you got hacked, right?
yeah. So yeah, well, I was leading to the point that we are as a technology company at some point, because we have to interact with like our clients data. At some point, we decided, okay, we don't want to store in like direct manner data, so that even our employees can access it. We want to encrypt everything and store the key elsewhere, and make it hard to actually ask that key provider to decrypt all the data. And this is, in my opinion, very important point, because if you are to give your clients data to some tool, it's better to be located on your local environment and don't go outside to the internet, or it has to be secured enough so that the data is safe. And while people will be showing you their products, please ask how they protect their data against these like malicious activities. That's my point.
Yeah.
And I guess we are running out of time, but I wanted to add that definitely some processes have to be established in the law firms in order to understand which data can go to which solution, while you all of us are in a state when we are trying some new solutions, and we adopting some solutions to our processes. We need to have like at least one responsible person who will be aware which data can go where, and we still again need a human oversight against what is happening, who uses those AI tools in which manner, because without oversight on this like in these upcoming couple of years, it may get tricky, really.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. I really like the discussion. The only thing I wanted to say again is, as a not lawyer, my initial thought was, if we had all of this data before the hacks attack in ChatGPT, it would be saved there about the data safety. So probably, but I think it doesn't work like this, and so on. And I guess the key point, one of key points here in our discussion of AI in legal business, is the ethical consideration. I want to be honest with you. We've had one discussion recently with a person who really works in an ethics department in Europe, and who works with ethics in law. I mean, and we started the discussion for several minutes, but it took us something like about 20 minutes or 30, and we didn't even finish that because this topic is that deep. We will try to talk about it a little bit of pretty fast, let's call it pretty, but still I believe that it will be very useful. So Anastasiia, I will want to ask you maybe here about the ethical challenges which arise when using AI, and how can firms ensure AI tools align with it?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is trust and transparency here, and it's not a problem of the legal industry, but I guess here is this question is the most relevant. So in my opinion, clients need to know when they are talking to a bot, for example, if it's like consulting law service. So they need to know if they talk to a bot versus to person, because this mispresentation could damage credibility of the brand of the company, right? So that is the first one. And another issue is privacy. AI systems must handle sensitive legal data securely, and I think it helps to prevent breaches actually. But there are clients in our activities who ask to make a prompt so that the AI does not say that it is a bot until, for example, people ask about it. So I don't know what is better, to warn right away that, or, for example, the initial consultation is conducted by a bot, or to maintain the brand image. I'm not sure about this answer, but for that, I recommend you to do deep research on who is the company, right? I mean, who is your AI provider, and who will get the access to your client's data. But most likely in law, this is especially important. And so, yeah, I think privacy and transparency of just a fact of using AI are the most popular ethical challenges here. And the second, how firms ensure, I think firms must set clear boundaries for AI, for using AI, and start with the small steps, right? I think you just should start very carefully and check the audience, the client's reaction. If it's okay, I mean, you by using AI, if it's okay, I think you can handle all of the professional standards in client's interaction and using AI at the same time.
All right. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So any additions or anything? Because I wanted to say thanks here, and I need to ask the audience, the people we have here. So Catherine is our most active listener here. Maybe if you have any questions to our speakers, to Tomasz, to Anatoly, to Anastasiia, maybe, because we are almost in time for the planning, and we almost managed to finish in time. So I guess if anything, you can just type that, or you can turn on the mic, and if there aren't, I would love to drive to the conclusion here of the webinar. So let's do like this. I'll drive to the conclusion, and if you have the questions, you will ask them in the chat, or just break my speech and start asking them directly. So mostly throughout the session, we've explored a lot of kind of exciting and even disruptive potential of artificial intelligence in the legal industry. And I think we all can agree that AI is not just a passing trend. It's here to stay, So from document automation and contract analysis to predictive analytics and legal research. AI is resharpening the way we approach our work in legal field. So, by the way, that's right. Thanks, Anastasiia, for sharing that. I will also notice that all of the contacts of our speakers you can get either from them, either from me. So as you are convenient, all of them, I guess, are free to help you, to talk to you, and to be there for you with all the questions you have. So kind of that. So I want to say that it's true that finally we all can agree that AI can replace certain tasks, but it cannot replace the essence of what makes the legal profession so impactful. And rather than seeing the AI as a threat, we should be thankful for the opportunity it brings. So the time saved, the mistakes avoided, and the potential to grow our businesses more efficiently, and effectively. So as legal professionals here, our job is not to compete with AI, because I still want to believe that human's brain can compete with it, but we shouldn't do that. But we have to leverage it. So we should, treat it like a partner here. And with that, I want to say to, let's call it, not to wish, to wish you more of that, to make your businesses work more efficiently, to have the partners there, to have the AI partners there who can help you with that. And I wish you to grow them here. And of course, for that, I cannot mention that, but still for a human, this part, we are here for you as well. So if you need any help with the legal expertise around the Europe and around the world, the globe on fully, so feel free to reach out to us, and we will be happy to have this discussion together. Any any words from the speakers as well, like the final goodbyes, I think, to our visitors? Maybe you want to add something to the whole scope of info we gave today?
Thanks for having me, and Catherine, thank you for the discussion on security.
Yeah, no, I would love to, I apologize, I'm on and off camera, but I would love to continue the conversations and get to know you all more in a different respect. And I think we're all aligned with what needs to happen and the ramifications of, if anything, it's like anything, right? It's like a 1980s movie where you can use technology for good or evil. And if we can spearhead some really cool things, I think in the legal world, there might be a cool business opportunity to be a leader of data, technology, AI, and legal. There could be some cool things there. So, but this was a lovely conversation, and thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, if I can add something from me, well, I think that AI in the future will be just one of the tools that we are using, and I really believe that we'll not be no longer excited about AI. It will be just AI tool. We are no longer excited about the cloud technology. We were excited about it just a few years ago. Of course, AI is different as regards for the scale innovation, but I really believe that most of the ethical rules of most of the common sense still apply to AI. So don't be too afraid. Just try it. Always make sure that you are doing it properly, but don't be afraid of making mistakes.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that. I'm now doing, like the final thing I wanted to share in the chat. So, and I will still share with after the meeting with our visitors, all the people who joined us and during the day, because I saw some people joining, some and some of them even I had discussions. Some of them asked to bring the recording to continue the conversations, and because I got a lot of replies regarding that. So I will share the links to all the social media as well. I will share the link to the meeting and to the recording, and to all of our speakers here. So here you are. I guess I have them. Yep. And thanks a lot for joining us today, to everyone. It was a lovely meeting, and I hope that we could bring you the joy and the use of the information today. So have a great time, and have a great, it's Tuesday, but still a lot of working week to go. So have a great working week, and hope to see you all at the other webinars we are handling. Yep. So thanks a lot, and have a good time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, everyone. Take care.
Bye.